So hello everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Shreyas Sai. He is just 18-year-old and at such a young age he has completed 3 tech internships and also founded a company of his own, Actalen. So first of all, sir, welcome to my show and thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Akshansh, for having me on your podcast.
So sir, first of all, tell us about your internships. What were your roles and how you got all those internships?
So initially, I applied to like a lot of internships, and then I got selected to one internship in San Francisco. It's called Anifi. It works on different kind of models, basically, as in it virtualizes concerts. So I was mainly like tasked with working on the website and then also blockchain. So we created tickets for different people. So I had to turn it into an NFT, a non-fungible token, and then I also was tasked with like working on the app and everything and the UI design. And then I also started working more like interning at a company in Mumbai. So it's an app solutions company. So I mainly do web development and app development also. So I'm currently working on like uh, an app that helps in like searching for parking spaces for cars with the company. So it's called Pocket. So yeah, I'm mainly behind the iOS division of it.
So how you got all those internships? How you applied for them?
Yeah, so mainly I started networking through LinkedIn. I created a huge following on LinkedIn, so that was my first priority. Currently, I have around 1,000 connections on LinkedIn. So if you start like speaking to everyone and then start putting out posts and everything, then you're bound to get like opportunities. And then I also applied to internships on LinkedIn, and there's this other website called AngelList, so I applied there too.
So how was it like working in a corporate environment at such a young age? What was your experience?
Honestly, I when I was starting out, I felt that it would be a bit, hectic with all of the college and everything, and plus it's online, right? So there's not a lot of communication and everything. But it's actually opposite of that. Everyone is like really friendly, and then although it was a professional environment, like I was speaking with like the CEO of the company like really freely, and then I didn't have to feel obligated to call him like respect him and call him sir in every sentence and all that. And even work wise, we weren't given like a huge amount of work and everything. It was really balanced and really healthy work environment, and I really enjoyed it.
So, sir, how can someone get an internship in their first year like you? Like, what all skills are required and how can they apply for internships?
So before my college started, like there was lockdown, right? So for around 2-3 months in my state at least. So I even though I started out at like back in eighth standard, I started with Python, C++, and everything. Then although I was like kind of proficient in those languages, I wasn't in like the level of working for a company. Like I just knew like the basic things and like solving problems and everything. So I thought like let me learn something more. So I started off with like app development and all that, and then I started off with Flutter. I know like it's a huge thing these days. It's like really famous and everything. So although it's more like for beginners and for startup companies that can't maintain two different code bases for both Android and iOS. So I learned that first, and then I moved on to like native app development, like more like Swift and then Kotlin. So after that, I also worked on web development. I learned JavaScript, HTML, CSS, like those the basic things, and then I moved on to React. So yeah, this is how I learned all the different skills. And if you also want an internship for all the viewers out there, then I'd suggest like starting off with really a basic coding language. Let it be like C, C++, and then you could start off going to like CodeChef, those websites, and then coding there, and then yeah, you can continue on from there. It's a really good journey, and then you should always enjoy the journey rather than aiming for the best and everything. So yeah, enjoy the journey.
So, you have learned most of the things from free resources, but many people think that free courses are not good. There must not be good teachers or they must not be teaching properly. So, how will you tell them that no, free resources are also good and you can learn from them also?
Yeah, so the main misconception about free courses is that people just for like a hobby they upload it on YouTube, and then they really don't care about structuring too much and all that. But I'd say if you know where to look, like at the right places for learning a particular thing. Say you want to learn HTML, like the basic HTML, right? So you can't just go on to like a web page and then just go to the documentation and expect to understand the whole thing. Or you can't just go to another experienced app developer who's already teaching much more advanced stuff and then expect to know it already. Because honestly, I agree that free courses, I mean on YouTube and everything, they don't have the same structure as paid courses, as in they don't teach you from the starting. So you need to know how to approach learning a new skill. You shouldn't expect to master it in 1 or 2 days. It needs patience. You need to spend at least a month or two if you want to like master in it, and then branch out to other things related to the same subject. So I'd say you could just like start off with basics of any subject you want to learn to. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of videos out there for beginners also. So make sure you first go for the right video or web page to learn from, and then you can continue from there.
So what all resources will you recommend for our audience, like from where they can start?
Okay, so if you want to do more of competitive programming and everything, then I'll highly recommend going through Geeks for Geeks. So also W3 schools. So W3 schools is like if you're like just starting out, you want to know syntaxes and all that, then you could like just brush up on the basics on W3 schools. Then you can move on to Geeks for Geeks just for like going a bit more in depth. I won't, although it's more of an intermediate thing, and then you can go on to like solving problems on code chef. But then if you are more into app development or if you want to do web development and stuff like that, then you definitely need to start off with YouTube, because I don't at least I wouldn't be able to understand learning from a web page and then reading the whole thing without it being practically implemented. So I'd say like there are various courses, like there are huge playlists on YouTube that are also pretty well structured, so you can definitely go through that.
So you have also founded a company. So tell us how this transition happened from an interning student to directly founding a company of your own.
So when I was interning, right, although it was really good environment and everything, since like a young age, I really wanted to do something of my own, like rather than working under someone. I wanted to be more of a, employ myself and then give my parents doctors, right? So they work in the hospitals. So I know some of the problems, patients and doctors go through. So I thought, why not, create innovative solutions for the healthcare industry, since there are not many solutions already there. Like there's just basic stuff which have been running in hospitals for like decades. And then the new technology like blockchain, AI hasn't probably been implemented. And then even if it has, it's like in really high-end hospitals, and then which are out of reach for the general public. So I thought, like, let me create something of my own that caters to everybody's needs and also tries to be as futuristic as possible.
So children of your age think of partying and enjoying their life, but you are doing internships, working on your own company. So what was your mindset behind starting so much early in life?
So I basically start off with like finding the right balance between, like, they say work and playing. So working for me mainly wasn't more of like I have to be productive, I have to be motivated the whole time, I have to do this amount of goals every day and everything. I just let it go like freely. I didn't want to like put too much of pressure on myself. I just started learning out of my own interest, and then I had a passion for the subject rather than being more dreaded for it, and then just be like, I want, in the end I just want to job at an MNC. I don't care what I learn on the way, I just want to crack the interview and all that. So that wasn't my mindset. I just wanted to learn what I'm interested in, and then not being not being like drowsy about the subject you're learning and everything. Also, I keep like a certain amount of time for enjoying myself. I just don't spend the whole time learning and everything, because that in the end causes more troubles than being productive the whole day. So yeah, that's my philosophy.
So from where did this idea came from of starting a own company of yours?
Yeah, as I told, my parents are doctors, so yeah, I had seen some of the troubles they went through. Also, there were these many apps for healthcare in India itself. There are many apps, I agree, but none of them. Most of them are like just booking appointments, and then most of them are just like ordering lab tests and everything. So I wanted to create something that implements more of everything. AIML is like really accessible to everyone. From the time you open your phone to opening an app, everything, like AI. plays a part somewhere in the whole process. But it's really shocking to see that such an important industry like healthcare isn't employing it, and then a lot of the tasks there are still manual. So I thought of like making more automated. So yeah, we'll be releasing our first product from Actalen. We'll be releasing our first product by the end of the year, and we'll make we'll be releasing it to the general public. So yeah, and I hope it helps everyone, and then all the doctors and patients that it's targeted towards.
So can you tell us how your the product is helping doctors and all of the healthcare system?
Yeah, so the first main issue we are trying to tackle is, if you ever go to a hospital, then you'll notice that see, there's a different software for appointments. There's different software for say financials. There's different software for example, you get your X-ray and then you have to put it on the system. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to unify the whole system from the time the patient books an appointment to the doctor, and to the time he gets the surgery and comes out of the hospital. Everything will be automated. Everything will be saved in the cloud, so none of it is redundant data. And then and there's always a ML algorithm learning from, like, say, the number of deaths in the hospital, the number of visits, the number of what is the income every day and everything. So in that way, hospitals can be more efficient rather than wasting a lot of man hours and then a lot of materials. They can be like really efficient, and then also like employ different technologies and really put them out into the future.
So like, do you have someone as your ideal or a motivation, like you look up to someone and say, yeah, I want to become like him?
Yeah, like many people, I idealize Elon Musk. He's a really great person. Like after making PayPal, he sold it for $300 million. He could have kept the money and enjoyed the rest of his life, but he decided not to. And then now he's the third richest as of the moment. And yeah, it's really inspiring how he's trying to contribute to humanity, not just like making money and then just enjoying the riches and everything. He's just trying to give his best to the whole humanity, and I really admire that about him.
So like, founding a company is very difficult. You have to face many challenges and difficulties. So what's that one thing that keeps you motivated?
I've To be honest, I have gone through some rough patches in the whole company journey, since sometimes it wasn't as productive as I thought it would be, and we didn't reach some deadlines and everything. And yeah, but although there are setbacks, the one mindset that I've always kept is I should never give up. Like that's the last thing I'd want to do. Since like 10th grade, I've been working on a lot of projects, right, for different competitions. So yeah, I used to have these setbacks. I once had made a drone, so I burnt all the motors trying to build it, and then yeah, I was pretty I was kind of like dejected for a week or so. But then I thought of working on the control board more, and then just fixing around the whole thing. So yeah, that's what I try to implement in my everyday life. I just try to not give up. Like once I take on a task, I complete it until it's over. So yeah.
You also have your own YouTube channel. So firstly, can you tell our audience what your YouTube channel is all about and how did this idea came to start your own YouTube channel?
Okay, so the YouTube channel was mainly an idea for creating an audience online. So since as an entrepreneur, you need an audience in the initial rollout, because you don't have enough money for advertising, right? And also, a lot of my friends, they used to come to me, and then they used to ask me questions. A lot of the people in my college also asked me about, like, how do you like start off with programming, and how do you know so much in your first year and everything. So I thought, instead of telling everyone, and then it's just my friends who can benefit from this. So I thought, why not create a YouTube channel and help out everyone who is in like need of this? Because at one point of time, even I wasn't like sure about what I want to do with my life, and then I didn't even know like the basics of computer science. Like I just knew there was something there on the desk of my home, and then I just go there and watch videos on it, and then I'm done. But yeah, once it sparked my interest, I really started learning it. So I wanted to like share my knowledge to everyone.
So this YouTube channel is part of a startup only.
Yeah, I try to not make it more of like what do you say? I don't try to promote a lot of things there. I just the main intention is like helping out people. Like if you check out my channel, then you can see some of the things I've uploaded, like how I got fourth rank in code shift. Like it's a international competition that happens every month or so. It's called the code shift long contest. So yeah, I got a fourth all worldwide rank. And then yeah, this is some of those little things that I wanted to share with everyone, with the community, and then also help out people who also want to get into like computer science and everything.
So, sir, what do you think about yourself? Like, what are the positives of your personality and what are the negatives that you want to change about yourself?
Positives, I'd say, yeah, as I said before, I'm perseverant. I don't leave things unattended, and then I also make sure the task is finished. Although I wasn't like that previously, I inculcated this thing like pretty recently. Also, I'd say quick decisions. I don't try to, put off decisions for a long time. Those are mainly my positives. Negatives, I'd say I still procrastinate a bit. So that's one of my negatives. And also, yeah, that's mainly it. Yeah.
So, sir, what are your future plans? Are you going to continue this startup only or do you have any other plans?
For now, I'm really into like entrepreneurship, so I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So for now, although I'm planning of pursuing my masters, I want to keep doing entrepreneurship and then like starting companies side by side. So I'm not going to deviate from academics or from entrepreneurship. So that's the idea for now.
So, in which field you want to do your masters?
Masters mainly in artificial intelligence, computer science, and then, if possible, also quantum computing. I recently took a course from IBM on quantum computing, so I intend to pursue it later on.
So, sir, once again, thank you so much for coming. It was great talking to you, and I really learned a lot from you. I hope our audience also must have learned so much from this podcast.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me here.